remember when we saw each other recently, I don't remember meeting you.
Yeah, I know.
So it would have been literally when you just got here, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you would have spoken much English. I didn't speak much Arabic because we didn't chat much, I don't think.
No, I spoke English. It's just that I spoke weird English.
Weird.
Because like it was, see, like really
yeah,
weird.
You've
Because
got an
like
American
accent.
accent, yeah.
All right. And like my first memory of you was, what was it? It was smoking on the porch.
At my house?
Yeah. Like at the driveway, not the porch.
The driveway.
The driveway.
We're having C's.
Yeah.
Did my parents know we were smoking?
I don't think so. Do they know now?
Yeah. They probably. When was that? If that was 2018.
That was like 2018,
Oh,
17.
they would have known we smoked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was just cigarettes.
Yeah.
But it was like
it was just ciggies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, we wouldn't smoke buds outside.
No.
Well, not just outside there.
Mm.
I'd smoke it down the street.
Yeah. Like, what's the issue like right now with buds? Is it still not legal?
Have we started, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
We have, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see myself there.
Yeah, you can see yourself there.
There
I
you
can
go.
see myself over there as well.
Okay. What was the question?
Is this just illegal territory now?
Is it illegal?
Is this illegal territory for you?
No.
Okay. What's the boundaries? What can I talk about? What can I not talk about?
No. Weed is fine. No, it's fine. You can ask as many questions as you like.
Okay.
It's good cross-examination.
Okay. So is it legal?
Weed is legal in some states. It's not legal here. In Canberra, it's legal.
Okay.
You can have 2 plants per person.
Mm.
You can even have 2 grams of coke. I think you can have I think 0.1 of ice and then some other drugs.
To buy or to plant?
Well,
to grow.
you can have that. You can carry in Canberra those sorts of
Okay.
drugs. Yeah. But in Melbourne, no, it's illegal to have cannabis. Yeah.
Do you think it's better to have it legal or illegal?
I think it's I would say legal. What, weed? Specifically cannabis?
Mm.
Yeah, I would say legal.
What about coke and drugs and shit?
I would say decriminalized is probably the word I would use, which is different to legal.
Okay.
Legal, there would have to be strict boundaries. It's kind of like pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah.
So, like Oxycontin and stuff like that. It's all registered. So you can't just keep buying Oxy. You have to be registered and not be taking too much. So I think you'd have to have a very strict approach to managing it, licenses for who can sell, etc.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think if it's in a controlled environment, it's safer than the alternative, which is what it is now. People don't know the purity of what they're getting, all the different drugs, the combinations. Look at who's selling it, bikies, etc.
Shady people.
Shady, usually. It's done in the dark. So bring it into the sun.
And you can't even trust it. Because like even if you wanted to try it, you can't. You don't know if this is like proper or if this like gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the biggest worry, I guess.
You're running a big risk. With
Yeah. You can buy those tests, can't you, that check whether things are pure and whatnot.
Oh, there's like
They offer them at festivals in like other countries, Amsterdam, for example, or Belgium, Germany, I think too. And a lot of other countries, they actually give out pill testing kits.
Dude, Europe's so open-minded
festivals.
about it.
Huh?
Europe's so open-minded about it.
Yeah, I think it's decriminalized. Like even Spain, I think they recently decriminalized MDMA or something like that.
Yeah. But I think that's the way it should be, especially with like these sort of things. When it comes to the effect it has, I think alcohol is like all the way at the top and it's legal. Because think about alcohol, it's got immediate effect, aggression response, and it's easy to reach, right?
Very.
And we have it legal. Yet, if you compare it to weed, it doesn't make it as aggressive. It's harder to reach, and then it takes a few times to like roll and smoke and light up, and it's it's not legalized.
There's that guy my little brother tells me about. I think is it Andrew Huberman or whatever his name is.
Andrew Huberman.
Yeah. And he talks about alcoholism and like my little brother shits on me because I drink a bit. Like I think if I average it out, 5 standard drinks a week or maybe more, maybe less. So, thereabouts.
Okay.
And he tells me and reminds me that I'm an alcoholic at that point. Even at that point, that I'm defined as an alcoholic.
5 drinks a week.
5 drinks a week. I think maybe I might be wrong. You have to check the facts.
Is that 5 drinks a week each day or just
so that's an average of a drink a day.
Okay.
I think that anyway.
Yeah.
But alcohol is probably the root of a lot of evils. I think that smoking, gambling, and they're all legal, but they're controlled. So it almost speaks to, and pharmaceutical drugs, another example. Yeah. So those are all controlled but legal items, and they fit within the, I guess, expectations of a society and what they allow people to do.
Yeah.
But then when it skips over to other drugs, who knows? Maybe cannabis has positives and negatives too, and other drugs too.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Like we've already seen it work on Parkinson's. There's already like a few test subjects that were done on people, and they tested Parkinson's and they crossed it with cannabis, and it fixes it.
Look,
it fixes it to an extent that you don't necessarily call it a cure, but it's also better than having a guy shaking 24/7
and taking pharmaceutical drugs that do nothing.
That do nothing.
Look, I'll at the expense of my name, I'll be completely honest with my views. So with cannabis, for example, in the 1960s, which is when the war on drugs was happening in America, it was illegalized on hemp paper. And for example, the clothes we wear right now could have been made from hemp. Those drapes could have been made from hemp. That sheet probably could have been made from hemp. Everything in this room could have been made with hemp. And hemp grows, I think, 5 times or 6 times quicker or even more than trees. So we have so much more of it. And mass producing it, you can use it for everything.
What's hemp?
Hemp is so cannabis is what you get off a tree. Hemp is the rest. Hemp is the tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what you use the tree for. You can use it for everything. Textiles, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
They legalized it. In the 50s or 60s, MDMA was the biggest and best cure of PTSD. So especially with war veterans, and it had like the history of it was amazing. Same thing with, for example, mushrooms and what that did with expanding your brain and opening up for example, Tourette's and other things. What do?
Yeah.
They legalize it all.
Yeah.
And what do we do now? Take the pink pill, take a blue pill, take a pink pill, keep taking pills, add another pill, add the dosage up.
Dude, I had a bizarre cough for the past 2 weeks, and I think a lot of people have been having it, and it's one of those tickly ones, and it wouldn't stop. And it got to a point where like I can feel it in my chest, and I got sick for like 2 weeks, and then like it's just resorted to just a cough, and my parents insisted on me taking cough medicine, like cough syrup.
You have to.
I was so inclined to take it because I know that it's just codeine. And like, even when I look at the package, when I go to ingredients, it's just codeine.
I don't take any of that stuff. Have some garlic, have some ginger, have some lemon.
That's what I did.
Have some cucumber.
For the most part.
You know, get some good stuff.
It doesn't feel good either.
I can't remember the last time I even took Panadol, man.
Here's the thing. Apart from like the pharmaceutical side, psychologically it fucks with you. Because if you're a person that's like anti-drugs and you go your whole life thinking that drugs are useless or don't do as much as you think they could or they should, and you do take drugs, you're going to be tweaking the whole time.
Well, that's what they say about gateways, isn't it? They say one just leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. Which is sometimes, and I accept a worry with drugs like cannabis, which leads to MDMA, which might lead to speed, which might lead to cocaine, which might lead to ice and heroin. And at that point, you're fucked. I'll be honest. If you're taking ice or heroin, you've fallen off the edge.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like that's the gateway, just like pharmaceuticals and alcohol can lead to those sorts of things. Drugs, and we see a big problem of it. Like my fiance works in child protection, and I think 80% of the people she's involved with are drug affected, and the ripple effect that causes, and it's not their fault. It's generations of fault of drug use. But you know, I'm probably a conspiracy theorist. Who invented ice? Who invented the drugs, heroin? Who put it into the market? Pharmaceuticals. They're the ones that used to use it. They used to sell it in Ritalin and all these sorts of things that would help you concentrate or focus or cure things. And they introduced ice and heroin, and they were the ones that let out the recipes, and it's created this problem because the best way to control people is by creating dystopia, not utopia. If we all lived in utopia, we'd be happy. But by creating, friction in the society, easier to control. That's full conspiracy. I spent hours on that.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a booming business. The pharma business is not stopping. It doesn't look like it's going to stop, and it boomed even more in the past 3 years.
COVID was the best example of their control.
Yeah.
Really. And they want to, I think Joe Biden came out the other day and said, everyone needs to have another jab. He's going to make it mandatory. So that's 360 million more jabs. These but Yeah.
Mandatory. He's going to force people to get jabbed again.
Well, we were all forced. And it was all the amount of people coming up now with different diseases, young, healthy people coming up with all these vasculitis and these other diseases.
The heart diseases.
Heart diseases. And they're just completely abnormal.
Yeah.
And they're COVID related or they're vaccine related. But, I sound like a skeptic or a conspiracy theorist. And those words that I just used, that's what they use to define people. They'll assassinate your character. Donald Trump.
Yeah,
what do? They'll just smear your whole life. If you try and fuck with the norm, the pyramid, as you do,
the plan?
They'll just turn you into sand. That's just how it works. No matter how big you get. Look at all the people come and gone who have tried to stamp, For example, Malcolm Turnbull, one of our prime ministers, and Kevin Rudd tried to team up to bring down Rupert Murdoch, which is the big conglomerate. He controls like 70% of Australian news media, which is just insane. One person. They tried to bring him down. 2 prime ministers, both great prime ministers, and they failed. They couldn't even do it.
He had more power.
He had more power than 2 prime ministers, and who knows who they know. He still beat them.
Well, that's usually how it goes anyway. One person controls the masses. Like, look at America. We talked
really
about BlackRock in America.
Yeah, a few of those other companies.
Yeah, S&P 500.
Vanguard and whoever the other few are. Yeah, and now the Saudis are coming.
The Saudis.
Thank God. The Saudis are coming.
Yeah.
And hopefully they save Iraq with them.
You think so?
I follow a couple of Iraqi news channels on LinkedIn and stuff. And there's a lot of projects coming from Saudi Arabia, Russia, China. So we're obviously a part of that team, if you will, against the democratic West. And look, Iraq doesn't really give a fuck who helps them as long as someone does.
Oh, they need it.
They need it.
They need it bad.
And it's great geography, and they still have a lot of the oil. But yeah, I think Saudi Arabia will become a big player in that whole thing as well.
Dude, they're rich. They're really rich. And no one knows how rich they're rich.
No one does.
No one knows. They could go all the way to BlackRock numbers for all we know.
Yeah, well, the truth of it is you don't actually know who So if you Google, I think, how many trillionaires there are. Do you have Google there?
Yeah.
If you Google that, and it's hard to prove, but I guarantee you, if you look at, I did economics, if you look at the value of economies and look at it over a period of time, you'll recognize that amount of money must be held by more trillionaires than they have there.
Okay, so it says currently no one has yet claimed trillionaire status, although some of the world's richest individuals may only be a few years away from this milestone.
And that's bullshit. That's like, we have how much was Elon Musk or Zuckerberg worth? They're in the hundreds of billions, yeah? So they're close. Imagine the Saudi princes. Imagine the Jewish people who have owned the banking system from 1700s, 1600s, or go back further. Their money is caught up in what's called a trust or some other entity, which is a separate legal entity. So it's not in their name, so it doesn't come up.
Yep.
And how in the world would you ever defeat that much money? $1 trillion. I think it's like 10 years of Australia's economy.
I don't think it could be as little as $1 trillion. It could rack up for a couple at least, or $1.5 trillion. And when you're talking about a half is a big number.
500
half
billion,
$1 trillion, right?
Yeah.
Half $1 trillion is a big number.
Yep.
Because how does it go? It goes million, billion, trillion.
I think there's quadrillion after that. What
Quadrillion.
is it? No, it probably sounds silly. You need a mathematician in here. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. What is BlackRock on right now?
Well, the thing is, what do they show us on as well? Like how much money comes out? You really have to do a historical search.
105 billion. That's bullshit.
Fucking bullshit, man.
Bullshit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's all bullshit.
They think they have less money than Elon? No. I'm calling cut.
Exactly.
I'm calling cut.
Exactly.
You control everything in the world, and then you go out and you say, "Oh, we're worth less than the owner of Tesla." That's not how it works.
Not at all. Not at all. They've been one of the biggest players for such a long time. A lot of those companies, but you don't really know who.
Do they control what we have as well? Yeah.
What, in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say the general gist of it is, they have a big say in or influence.
My money, your money, my investments, your investments. Essentially, they take a gain.
Think about it. Yeah, like let's say the city of Hume wants to, create a new estate. where do they go? They'll go to a big town planning company or some private organizations who are big enough in order to actually help them plan the town. They'll know where the main roads are. They'll know where all the different hotspots are going to be. They're first and best dressed just because they're big. Of course they get to influence because they're the ones who have the capacity and the capital to say, yeah, here's, whatever it costs to build an estate. You know what I mean? So I think they're influence. But if you look at, and it's really ironic, so the way the voting system works is you can actually donate, but donations over, I think it's $3,000 or something, have to be informed. You have to actually put a notice that you're donating X amount, or I think the politician has to say, I've received a donation of X amount. And you don't get the statistics of who's donated to who until after the election. And it came out that, what's that oil tycoon's name in WA? Can't remember his name. Anyway, he donated like 30% of Liberals' total donations to them. So if they get in, they pull their pocket out and say, here it is, You know what I mean? So of course they have influence.
Yeah. I mean, do you think people really care about it? Because if they did, they would open their mouth.
Look, I think COVID was another good example of how even if we all feel the same way, it's so hard to act on it now. We live in such a controlled society, well-groomed type of society where even the slightest amount of provocation from government gives fear. The amount of fear that I think people live in society now is just enormous.
I think we haven't seen how far the government can go to in this country. That's what I think. Because like when I compare it to like other places, say for example Iraq, they had like 3 attempts at a revolution in the past 2 years. Guess what happened? Nothing came out.
Nothing came out, yeah.
Why? Because they were shot on the spot.
Yeah.
And they just took it to the extreme straight away. The government didn't care. They didn't care. They didn't even listen to them. They didn't even bargain. Like at least here you can go out on a protest and the government would allow it for like a day or two until they calm down and shut it off.
You're probably right. If anywhere, Australia and Melbourne, Australia, we have probably one of the strongest union type of movements and worker type of movements where Victoria's a very heavy labour state and they've done that historically, like protest. So you might be right, if anywhere here, but it's got to be an issue which everyone feels so strongly about. And if COVID wasn't that, what would be an issue that would bring everyone together to go and march for a week and not work?
AFL.
to cancel it or really? It's disappointing.
Imagine if they shut down the AFL for a week.
Oh, if they shut it down.
They shut it down just out of nowhere.
You might be right. You'll get some proper.
Dude, Richmond will get flooded.
Yeah, the whole area, near the G. Everyone will just hang around at the G. Yeah.
Scenes are gonna go crazy because you're gonna see people from each and every single race.
And each club, like I think Collingwood just recorded over 100,000 members now.
Yeah.
100,000
is huge.
Members.
It's fucking big, yeah.
It's insane. That means if they get to the grand final, they'll just fill it up themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna have to increase the capacity of the MCG soon.
You think so?
Well, I was actually listening to the radio on the way here, and they were talking about it. But there's a few issues. Is you can overpopulate the actual area so that it just causes a stampede because the way it works. Because they were thinking about adding more standing space, but then each person would have less space. And that's at some point that becomes dangerous. Imagine people start running, and also if you expand it higher, people's view it's not as good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, with the AFL, I think sitting at a medium to high level, not at the highest, because I've only been to one game, and I've sat like medium to high level, and the view is all right because the way AFL works, the way footy works, you've got like 22 men.
Yeah.
It's not like football. It's not like tennis where it's just like really small and you have to like really focus. And so because the pitch is so large, if you go up higher, it's not an issue. But at the same time, sitting there, it was just comfortable. It was just comfortable. Just. And so if you expand it a little bit more and you have to like, mush seats and whatnot together, I don't think it's going to work.
It doesn't work, yeah.
It doesn't work.
I agree. I agree.
Because the place already looks like a fucking coliseum right now.
Yeah, man. I didn't really understand engineering. I work as a lawyer, so I don't really think about engineering. And sometimes when there's like 100,000 people in there and it just shakes, my heart, man, I get a little bit of anxiety. It's horrible. How is this thing? It's literally the Coliseum on steroids.
It is Coliseum on steroids. Because every time when I was there, the whole time I was sitting, I always looked at the top and I say, "What if some guy just decides to jump right now from the top floor, from the top level?"
Tell us.
Yeah.
Compo claims. That's great compo claims.
Oh, that's sad, bro.
You get a claim. Like Oprah handing out claims.
But it's so good. Like, even watching footy in the stadium is different to watching it on TV. Because when I used to watch it on TV, I was like, this shit's boring. Yeah. But then you go, and then someone scores. And then they start doing the whole, like, light thing when it's, like, flashing and all of it.
I think that's Melbourne.
Yeah.
You go for the Ds?
Me?
Yeah.
Essendon.
That's disappointing.
What do you mean? They're red and black. We have good colors.
What does that do for you?
Nothing.
Red and black. Red and black's okay.
It makes you aggressive.
Red and blue's better.
No. Is it?
Oh, mate, the D's. Society,
Why?
You want to join Australia. I wanted to assimilate, Aussies, Melbourne. It's,
no.
Society, mate.
Didn't they
MCC.
lose? They make the finals.
We're playing tonight against the Pies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to win. They're too good right now.
The D's?
Yeah. No. The
Pies, no. Get out
No, they're good. They're good. They're all right.
Get out of
They
here.
beat us, that's why. And if you beat Essendon, basically you're the best team.
They spanked you. It was like 70 points to 0 in the first quarter.
So? We're tanking.
So, yeah.
We're tanking.
Season
Season off.
Yeah.
No, I think
it's all about the D's.
All right, man. I'm not gonna argue with you. You seem pretty convinced.
Well, we'll find out tonight.
What does your fiance go to?
In terms of footy?
Yeah.
Not a big footy fan.
That's very strange.
So Melbourne.
Okay.
Of course.
But that's a very strange dynamic. You have the Arab who's a big footy fan.
And the Aussie who doesn't like footy. Yeah. Who knows?
Dude, she 100% Aussie.
100%.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, not, because I wanted to ask you. Because we always shit on someone that explores other nationalities. And so if you see an Arab guy hanging out with a non-Arab, you're like, this brother, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not hanging? Especially like old heads.
That's because you're in Broadmeadows, man.
Do you think so?
That's 100%
why. Yeah.
You're in Broadmeadows. The density of Iraqis here is,
They're all so judgmental, bro.
Honestly, my dad made the best decision
to move away.
World. No, well, when we came from Canada, he brought us to. Canada. We moved to Mulgrave from Canada, and then grew up mainly in Berwick.
Okay.
And surrounded by Aussies.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it was good to I sound Aussie. If you couldn't see me, you'd be thinking he's with a some Aussie bloke. Yeah. So. And I think it actually opened us up to that culture more. Like, we were already Iraqi. We're never going to lose that.
Yeah.
But you come to Broadmeadows and sometimes you get stuck within the four walls of the area and or your own people. You feel it's like a closed society type vibe. Obviously it's not, but it feeds that idea more and it can be more dangerous. Whereas if you do something that's unknown to you, I think you grow a bit more as well.
So is most people in your area as open-minded?
I haven't done a survey. I haven't done the survey yet, but I'll get some questions together.
I think you should.
Send someone around to do some questioning.
Yeah, because dude, if you hang around in the northern areas, and this is no disrespect to anyone, but they've boxed themselves in this mentality and they don't escape it. And if you do want to change your mind about something, or you're just whitewashed.
So you agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I hate the term whitewashed so much.
I've never even heard it. So hasn't even got to dandy.
Someone called me whitewashed the other day and I just sat there. I was like, all right, maybe you're right, but I hate this term because
whitewash.
What is whitewash?
What does it mean? I don't know.
Right?
You tell me.
All right, I'll tell you. So if you want to grab a stereotypical Arab, what are you going to think about?
About a stereotypical Arab?
A stereotypical Arab. What comes to mind?
He's wearing a nice dishdasha.
Okay.
Sandals.
Okay. Stereotypical Arab in Melbourne.
Stereotypical Arab in Melbourne. Some trackies.
Okay.
nice hoodie,
Okay.
maybe a bum bag.
Maybe.
If he's fully sick,
Okay.
some nice TNs. If he's fresh enough, maybe some nice Nikes, nice watch, obviously.
Okay.
Some gold necklace if he's Lebo.
Okay.
Depends where he's from.
Okay.
You know, ciggies.
Shout out all the Lebos.
Couple of rings on. You know.
Okay.
Where does he hang around?
Okay.
At the lounge, kicking it with the
okay.
boys. Nice car, maybe hotted up car. You know.
Merc.
Could be a Merc. Could
AMG.
be into Japs. You know.
Okay,
Could be
yeah.
into you know.
Okay.
You definitely have a Supra or something. You know.
Jabs is a little bit too much for Arabs. I think
It
so.
depends. Oh yeah, mate. I think. See, I don't know enough. I don't come to these areas often.
Jabs is more Greeks, more Europe, more Asians.
More Asians.
More Asians.
No, I thought Arabs like, you know.
They like it. They just don't have the money for it.
For a Jap car, isn't it cheaper than?
No.
Are you talking like?
Like fully souped up.
Oh yeah.
Like I had Joseph Howell the other day.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't have a souped up Supra. It made me very disappointed.
Well, I'll disappoint you as well. I don't have one either.
That's very sad. No Falcon.
No Falcon.
What do you drive then?
Nah, actually, I drive a Jeep.
Okay.
Just bought a Jeep recently. Yeah.
Nice. What kind of Jeep?
Jeep Wrangler.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I always wanted to buy a Jeep.
Well, I really want a G-Wagon.
Okay.
So this is kind of like the, cheap version.
Tipping
for
your
now.
toes into it.
For now.
Yeah, trying something different.
Chilling,
Jeeps are nice.
They're nice, yeah.
They're nice. They're different. Not everyone rides a Jeep. And then when I see someone riding a Jeep, I was like, all right, so you wanted a Merc, but you couldn't afford one, so you got
Yeah.
Right? Well, they're nice. I like Jeeps. I also had someone that told me that she wants me to buy a Jeep so we can date.
So if you bought a Jeep, she would date you.
Yeah.
Do you have my number?
No. I don't have her number now either. Wait, what was I saying? We kind of straight off topic. What was I saying? Yeah. So they box themselves in a mentality where like, if you're of a certain group, you have to act a certain way. And so if you're a Syrian, Chaldean, Iraqi, Lebo, Syrian, Palestinian, whatever, right? You have to fall into this category where you act a certain way, you wear certain clothes, you speak a certain way. And I see it. Like, no shade to all my friends, but 100% shade to all my friends. They wear the exact same clothes. Yeah, I go to like some meetings with like my friend groups and my Arab friend groups, and I walk in and they're all wearing the exact same hoodie, the exact same pants, the exact same Air Maxes. I'm like, all right, we're doing this, I guess.
On theme.
On theme. And then this whole thing, you exaggerate it to the point where it reaches your beliefs. And so if you're a guy in these areas and you're Arab and you're not dating an Arab girl, it's kind of like weird. And they start talking shit behind your back.
Yeah.
That's why I really like your parents.
My parents?
Yeah. Because like when I met them for the first time, I was like, holy shit, these guys are different.
They're pretty Western, yeah. But look, Murad and I, my brother, we kind of beat that into them as well. We were pretty difficult children to deal with. So we kind of westernized them in their approach because they couldn't continue with their Eastern approach. It wasn't working. But otherwise, I think, the saying goes, you're a product of your environment. And I think that's definitely true. So when you're a kid, those thoughts or belief systems might be what come from your parents or whatever it is. Yeah. And it's unconscious at that point. So you're in the unconsciousness of state of mind. But eventually it actually travels through unconsciousness to consciousness, where that attitude is something you actually positively think about. Instead of you don't know, you know it. You actually know you know this thing. This is what you think now. So I think that's the problem, is over time, that expectation is just the norm for them. So they actually positively think about that expectation like, oh, we should think this way. It's very hard to get out of that. When you think that you should think away, it's very hard to go back and change the way you think.
Okay. You said you're a product of your own environment. Do you think you can turn your environment into a product of your beliefs and reverse the effect?
I think that there's probably a set of variables you would need, including money, influence, and other sort of things, and you might be able to.
A podcast,
you could. It might expose you to that, but you would need a platform. You need a platform, and you need a way to actually act and take control of that platform. But I think so. Like if you look, there's strong leaders in certain councils as well, or different organizations that have an influence over a certain population. So yeah, I think it's possible. The bigger you get, the harder it gets, obviously.
So it's possible.
I think so.
Okay. We'll
I think
try.
so.
We'll see.
You look at some people in humanity, and you'll recognize that they actually were a turning point for that society. It didn't change the course of the world. I don't think anything will for now until whatever, I don't know, something extraterrestrial or whatever it is. But people have come and they've actually left their handprint on society in certain ways and maybe turned us left or right or the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. How long does that last? I don't know. I think you only die when you're forgotten. You don't die when you're put in the ground. You die when you're forgotten.
Any figures, any names come to mind?
About people who have died but never been forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh, you could go a whole list. You could start from Jesus and come all the way through, Like, do you know who the 3 most famous people in the world are? And I just gave you one, which is unfortunate. Jesus was the hardest one.
Is Hitler on the list?
Huh?
Is Hitler on the list?
I'm not sure. I don't know the answer. I just know the question.
So unfortunate, man.
I think Hitler might be on the list.
He should be. Because like the whole time you were talking about influential
I think
people.
Muhammad Ali's on there.
Okay.
And then
Muhammad Ali, top 3 influential.
I think most known.
Most known.
Yeah. I don't know. You have
Who's the third one?
I can't remember.
Let's search it up. Top 3 most known people or figures?
Men in the world.
Men. Who do you think is the third one? Take a guess.
Well, I asked the question initially, so it's not good that I can't remember it.
Dude, what is this? Oh, this is like 2023. They gave me Barack Obama. And then they gave me Jennifer Lopez. She's not a man.
Is she converting?
I don't know.
Well, you don't know that, Fidel. You have to.
I have
ask,
to be like,
ask
okay, yeah, my bad.
what its pronouns is until it tells you what its pronouns is.
You think so?
And then you can define. That's the way society is moving. Yes.
Do you get that in your job field? When you get fucked over?
I assume gender based on biological assumptions or inferences from what I can gather from people. If I was to answer this politically.
Okay.
But I think. No. So in my sign off at work, I do not have him, he. I don't think it's. I think it's in my name. Milad, Juma.
Okay.
Should be.
Not Kanye West. The number 1 most significant person is Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
That's the number 1. I don't know why they felt like they needed to say not Kanye West. So they have Shakespeare and Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
I don't know the order, but they've just put Alexander the Great, Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Alexander the Great, I think, was the other one.
Yeah. 2 sides. Adolf Hitler, George Washington. Oh, so they've put it on. Okay, so here's the top 3. Top 10, actually. I'm going to go from bottom to top. Thomas Jefferson, Alexander the Great, Aristotle, Adolf Hitler at number 7, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, number 5, Muhammad. They don't specify which one, just Muhammad. Number 4, William Shakespeare, number 3, Napoleon Bonaparte, number 2, and Jesus. Yeah, I know. I said
Who's number 2?
Napoleon.
It's weird.
Wait, you've heard about him, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's a short guy that killed a bunch of people.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very wide variety of men. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really.
It is.
Imagine Jesus and Adolf Hitler on the same top 10 list.
You would never think. It's actually really good trivia.
I know.
Which list would you find Adolf Hitler and Jesus on the same top 10? That's actually a really good trivia question.
Life-changing figures.
Far out.
Dude, but he was so preachy.
Who, Hitler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've seen his videos,
he was a dictator. So he had, he used words to control. That was his power.
Yeah, and not just words. He used emotion because, like, he put so much emotion into what he used to say.
Well, Hitler's an interesting story. If you go back from World War I, obviously, and the failure or the demise of Germany, and you go all the way through, you wouldn't blame the German people for going with him.
No.
They didn't know what he was doing behind the scenes, obviously.
Yeah.
So he look, and that's, I think it's unfair to the words not to use them. So he was charismatic. He was smart. Yeah. He had other positive traits, but unfortunately, he channeled them into the most evil way humanly possible today.
Yeah, well, there's like a thin line between evil and smart, and if you don't tread carefully, you can mix the both of them together, and then you get Big man Adolf.
Yeah, big man. Yeah.
But the thing is, wasn't he on coke most of the time?
I don't know. I wasn't there with him.
He was on something. They put a video up the other day of him in the Olympics.
How do you know?
I've seen it. I'll show you. Have you seen him in the Olympics?
But how much AI? I don't know, man. I believe half of what you hear and everything you see, man. That's the way I see it now. It's becoming very difficult to just, take things on the face of it.
I get what you're saying, but like with this is a video that was way before AI. It's not something that is recent. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I can find it. There it is. Jesse Owens wins 100 million gold as Hitler watches in 63. Is that the video? Yeah, but the guy was just sitting there. He was tweaking the whole time. He was on something.
Yeah, he could have been on high functioning like pharmaceuticals as well.
Adrenaline.
Could have been anything like that. Yeah, that could have just been his G. Like, what's that movie where that guy takes that pill? Limitless.
Okay.
What does he take? He takes some fucking pill, and he just becomes like a genius, and he just recalls everything and recites everything after he's read it once, and just memorizes everything, and just cannot do the wrong. He can only do the right thing in every circumstance
because he's on something.
Because on something that's just. I'm sure those drugs exist for those who are like elite.
Do you think he's elite?
Hitler at his time, I think he was the elitist of the elitist, wasn't he? Yeah. He met with the prime minister and presidents of other countries, and they just said to him like they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That looks interesting. Can you play that again?
Oh, hold on. I gotta go back. The guy is
shaking.
He's shaking. He's 100% shaking.
Yeah, but maybe he needed to pee. When I need to pee like that, I'll shake, man.
No.
You could, bro.
No. That was on Joe Rogan too. There.
Yeah, you could just need to go, but he doesn't want to miss the race. Honestly, I have a weak bladder, and sometimes I get like that. Like, not trying to associate myself to Hitler. And the way he shakes when I shake.
Okay, all right. Hitler needed to pee in the Olympics. That will make headlines. Melbourne lawyer claims worldwide known dictator wanted to take a piss during the 36 Olympics.
Hey, I'm not here as a lawyer. I'm just here as an average citizen.
I know. Okay, actually, let's do something fun.
I'm not wearing any hats.
I know you're not wearing any hats. I know we're like a few minutes into it, but pick a number between...
We're a few minutes into it.
Pick a number.
Go for an hour. It's a few minutes into it.
Anyways, so I usually do these like at the start.
Where are you looking?
38.
Where do you see that? Oh, there.
Well, just right there. Yeah.
38 minutes. Good.
It's not bad. Pick a number between 1 to 10.
You got it.
You got it? What's the number?
What do I have to tell you?
I need to know.
9.
Okay, so now you got 9 seconds to introduce yourself to the camera. So I can put it at the start.
Hi, everyone. Milad. Nice to meet you all. See? Put me under pressure. Too hard. I just paused it. See? Full lag. That's what happens. And now I'm taking more than 9 seconds.
That's so...
You shouldn't put your people under that much pressure. That's unfair.
I hate to tell you, but you're the first person to fail in this podcast.
Proud. I like being first. That's good.
I don't know about this first.
Huh?
I don't know about this first.
No, first is first. First is first.
Okay.
No chance.
Okay. But it was good enough.
Let's start again.
Okay, let's start again. Are you still on
Is
9
that all right?
seconds? Okay, yeah.
No, I'll go again. I'll choose a number between 1 and 10.
Okay, choose a number between 1 to 10.
I'll go 1.
1.
Hi. Nailed it. Now I'm the best.
Okay.
I had 1 second. That's it.
Okay. You know I'm going to use both of them, yeah?
Use them both.
This is going to be very good promotional material.
Let it ride.
This is going to be amazing. This is going to be my introductory. So this is what people are going to see when they see who we're having this week.
At the start, huh?
At the start. So if you jump to the Instagram page, there's always a video where people are introducing themselves. Not necessarily all the time, because sometimes I forget to do this. and I have to like come up in an elaborate way where someone says their name and I have to edit it. But now you've given me like 2 times where you say your name.
There you go.
2 times where you look in the camera and say hi.
You're welcome.
Thank you. For all you know, people could like it more. They were like, oh, this guy's spontaneous.
Yeah, look,
like
I probably speak to the emotions of humanity. Like, we were speaking for 38 minutes before you asked me to do that. And I was fine. There was no issues. But you gave me 9 seconds, and just like that, cortisol up, heart rate up, all of a sudden, you're sweating.
You're also on caffeine.
Always on caffeine, man.
Oh, really?
Amongst other things, yeah.
Is caffeine the main thing?
At present,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You gave me that smile. I'm not gonna ask you what else. You're waiting for me to ask.
Camera.
Okay, you can tell me later. But caffeine is very interesting. Are you always on coffee at work?
No, I don't have my first coffee until around 9:30. I usually have done like an hour and a half of work and then a couple of coffees throughout the day. I think caffeine is, like everything else, has good and bad about it. But I don't abuse caffeine use. I think there's one main thing. If you drink caffeine, drink a lot of water, take magnesium. Only two things that you need to counter caffeine, really.
What do you mean counter caffeine?
Well, caffeine can dehydrate you, and it can also stiffen up your... And you had Alan Albani. You should really ask him this. You know a lot more than me.
Oh, how do you know Alan?
I know Alan. He's Iraqis. What do you do?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it constricts your arteries or muscles or something like that, so that when your heart pumps blood, caffeine can... Not caffeine in itself, but it's one of the variables that goes into it. So magnesium will help with relaxing your muscles or arteries or one of those things. So yeah, I just take a healthy dose of magnesium with calcium K2, I think it is.
No multivitamins?
No, I don't take multivitamins. No.
Okay.
I take, hemp oil, krill oil, magnesium, vitamin, calcium K2, vitamin D. That's pretty much it.
Dude, D is like essential for everyone.
Look, I would say vitamin D, calcium K2, and magnesium at the very least. I think you should be having some sort of oil, like fish oil or krill oil or cod oil or hemp oil, because it helps with the fatty acids in your brain as well. I also take ashwagandha, which is really good for you as well.
What does it do?
And ashwagandha?
Yeah.
Oh, look, Andrew Huben, go Google it. It's... To describe it, for me, it's a supplement that you can use for gym. It helps with your metabolism and other things. Yeah.
That's very good. I actually saw something. He was talking about the other day how you should delay your caffeine intake by 2 hours from the time you wake up. That's why it was so interesting.
Alan was saying that?
No. Andrew.
Oh, Andrew Huben.
Yeah, when you were talking about...
There you go.
Yeah, because you wake up at 7,
Wisdom.
right? Yeah. But the reason behind it is so smart because you know how some people experience like a crash midday and you just want to nap like at around
I don't
1
get
o'clock.
that often, but
Exactly.
I know how people do it.
Yeah, but that's because you delay it.
Maybe.
That's what he was talking about. So not as straight as you wake up. And so if you delay your caffeine intake by like 2 hours, you're not going to experience that delay, that crash. And even if you do, it's not going to be as harsh. And then you could like counterbalance it with something.
And then I think he says 8 hours before you sleep, you should have your last intake of caffeine, or maybe even more.
9
hours?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so that's difficult. I probably have my last coffee at like 4:35. What time do I sleep? No, I sleep well within 9 hours of that. Less than 9 hours after that. So
you could sleep, but it's just not going to be as good of a sleep.
as good, yeah.
But if you can get like 80%, you know, of the 100 that you can get out of your sleep, if you can recover like 90%, 80%, it's still better than some people that go on for like 50, 20, 10%.
Yeah, I think the pendulum of life always swings. Sometimes your body needs more, sometimes your body needs less. I think that's just
Dude,
how it
I've been
always
struggling
goes.
with sleep for the past 3 months.
Really?
I wake up, I wouldn't say tired, but I wake up with a dome on my head.
A dome?
Yeah, I just wake up
You
like...
just feel heavy in the head?
Yeah, I wake up feeling really crushed.
Drink enough water?
I drink enough water, but then I started using multivitamins, vitamin D, and now when I wake up, it's gone. It's 100% gone. Like I wake up still, you know, because I'm a slow person. I'm a slow mover, even at the gym. Like I'm really slow. When I do my things, I do it slow. I don't rush around. And so if I wake up around the bed, I don't wake up like fully energetic, like let's conquer the day kind of person. I just wake up, I roll, I take my time when I roll.
Okay.
I take my time. Like if I have my phone by me, you know, I check my phone, which I try not to do. You know, it's kind of stupid. So right now I've been getting into trying to the habit with, I put my phone out of the room and it works. It works really good, really well. I like it because, you know, it's a ripple effect kind of thing. But with vitamins and multivitamins and vitamin D, I wake up. It's not necessarily that I have the energy, but I know that this is it. This is time to wake up.
Good. Good. I think that's very useful. I think it's like I was watching a TED talk of a lady. I think she'd worked in neuroscience or neuropsychology or something, and she was saying where when you wake up in the morning, the worst thing you can possibly do, other than look at your phone, is go back to sleep. So hit the snooze button and sleep again, because your body has woken up from, let's say, 6 hours or 7 hours or 8 hours of sleep. It knows it's woken up. And then when you go back to sleep, even for 10 minutes, your body starts to enter another sleep cycle. And then so when you wake up, you're sluggish, you're lethargic, you're still slow because your body's thinking, oh, what the fuck's happened? I just entered another sleep cycle and now you've woken up. It's very confusing. Get out of bed. Yeah, that's one thing that and you don't always get it right, and that's life. That's just how it works. But as much as you can, as you said, just rip the sheet off. Move,
dude, everyone struggles with it.
Yeah.
Everyone struggles with it. And I think like, because I live with my family, the most important thing for me is that no one touches my shit. No one touches my bed. All right? If I wake up and if I go to drink water, and by the time I come back, I see my mom in my room, mom, get out. Right? I don't want no one touching my shit. Because if you're fixing my bed, you've literally ruined my morning. If I can't fix my own bed, the rest of my morning is ruined. And then if I see breakfast on the table, the rest of my morning is ruined as well. I have to do everything myself because it's like...
Look, I'll be honest, Fidel. Once you moved out, you'll regret saying that. You'll listen back to this podcast and you'll say, I wish my mum would make my bed.
Really?
And I wish my mum would make me breakfast. So
why? If
my mum's listening to this, I want breakfast and I want my bed done whenever she's available. Because it's luxury. You're in a luxurious life, so you want to put yourself through some pain.
Yeah.
I'm in pain. So if I could get the luxury, I would. That's probably the easiest way of explaining it.
I think your fiance is going to like...
I'm not in pain. I'm not in pain. But, I don't have that indulgence at my fingertips,
Okay.
I remember that, like, coming home from university or even high school at 3:30 and I could already smell the timun and maraka. It's already on the table. And I'm just like...
well, that's nice.
Now I have to scrape through the barrel. Got to wait 5:30. Then all the other things that come up.
I don't know, bro.
My fiance doesn't listen to this shit. Or maybe she should. It's on record now. It's too late.
It is on record.
It's too late, Brooke. If you're listening, I love you. Don't take it personally.
I'm not cutting this part out. I hope you know. I hope you know.
Don't take it personally.
It sounds personal, if I'm being honest.
Everything is always personal.
You think so?
Of course.
How so?
Well, no. Everything is only the way you react to it. Nothing is anything until you react to it. I could tell you the worst thing in the world, or I could tell you the best thing in the world, and your response dictates the emotion around it. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean?
And so you kind of like give power to the person that's trying to...
Going into a vortex. Nah, so Brooke could
you.
choose to take it personally for me to say that being at home and having my mum cook breakfast or do my bed was luxurious. She could choose to take that personally, but it's not. I didn't say that being at home isn't.
Wait, take it personally or take it the wrong way?
Take it personally.
Okay.
Which is similar, isn't it? I'll take it the wrong way.
Yeah. I think taking it the wrong way and taking it personal is different, because like if you say something that's specific to the person, like if you look at me right now and say you look ugly, that's personal. There's no way for me to take it bad, right?
Personal. Yeah.
But then if you say something general, like I think most people in this room are ugly, you're not really saying it, so I could take it.
You could take it the wrong way. Very good, actually. That is good. You should be in the dictionary.
I'm a psychologist.
You should start. Are you studying psych?
Yeah.
How long do you have left?
1 year.
1 year, huh?
I wouldn't call it studying per se. I don't open a single book.
Really?
No.
Why?
I don't have time.
It's that easy, huh?
Not even. Like most of my reports are ChatGPT. And it's funny because
it's too easy, with ChatGPT.
Yeah. Like we've been in a roundtable meeting with Adobe, and where Adobe invited all universities in Melbourne, and I was invited. And funny thing is, when you apply, they send us a letter. They're like, all right, we need students to apply to this, and they gave us like 3 questions why you should be picked to come to the roundtable meeting. I was like, this is bullshit. I'm not filling it. I went to ChatGPT. I prompted him and I gave him like, why should I be picked? And he gave me the thing and he sent it back. And so when I was talking to them in the interview, I said, hey guys, I don't really apply. I made ChatGPT apply. And they were like, oh, this is amazing. You should come totally talk about it. And when I was sitting there with like the rest of the lecturers and whatnot, I was so open-minded about it.
Mm.
And the rest of the students, they were like really scared to talk about it, and they wouldn't admit it. And I was just sitting there. I was like, yeah, I did like 4 assignments this year through ChatGPT. My teachers don't even know it. Next to all the lecturers and whatnot. And my coordinator was sitting on the other side.
Are you allowed to use it in your course or not? You're technically not, yeah?
No. But no one knows. That's the beauty. Like, I could talk about it right now, but there's no proof that I've used it. Right? Because
yeah, I understand. And
it looks authentic.
Even using it as a source of information, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I use it at work, not daily, but sometimes I'll get it to reword something or look at something for me. It's much more powerful than Google. And
Dude,
it's the whole thing.
I'll fill you in on something right now. I was doing some work for this episode. I don't really do work for this episode, right?
Yeah.
I kind of wing it most of the times. But you also gotta like think of something. And I thought of something fun. And so here's a question that AI asked for you. And it's a never have I ever.
Oh no.
And I asked him, I was like, give me blah, 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 blah. And he's like, certainly, here are 5 blah, 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 blahs. And so the AI asks Milad Juma, never have I ever forgotten a crucial court date or deadline.
I haven't.
Okay, good job. Well, now you know.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oof.
Yeah. No, I've got the list.
Can I go home now?
It's longer now.
Finished?
I actually got like a long list. There it is.
What's this for?
That's my questions.
Your questions?
Yeah, I've got like,
oh, God.
We'll get to it later. It's a kind of a mini game. It's because like I don't write these things. Like when I go on episodes, I don't write, but because I had so many questions that I wanted to ask.
I'm going to know the answer to like none of these.
Really? Could be simple as yes.
I feel like you're going to ask some pretty weird questions.
Weird?
Give me an example.
Okay.
Shoot one at me.
Okay, I'll shoot one at you. Do you want a never have I ever or which can I sue for?
Which can I sue for?
Which can I sue for? All right. Can you sue for being served a normal coffee when you ask for decaf?
Technically, you probably could.
No way.
Technically.
What?
You'd have to be the most petty Karen person in the world, but technically, you would have a right to recourse. Technically. Under consumer law.
Okay.
Technically.
What are the gains for that? What can you get out of it?
Look, I use the word technically as the most operative word in that answer, technically.
So it's possible.
It's possible, but it's you've already spent, when you spend 5 minutes on that issue, you've already spent too much time. You've already wasted your time.
Okay, do you want something else?
Go for it.
I have a long list.
Good.
Okay. Injury from laughing too hard at a joke someone told you.
Nah, can't sue for that.
You can't sue for that?
Nah.
Why?
Nah.
It's bad?
Nah, you couldn't sue for that.
Okay.
No one could ever reasonably foresee that making you laugh so hard would kill you or do something, unless I knew of some lung condition you had. But even still, nah, it's not going to happen.
All right. When your friends cause you emotional distress.
Any more context to it? Do you have any... Speak of an example. Do you have any specific...
All right. 5 a.m. calls.
That caused you emotional distress?
It could.
It's got to be permanent. If you're going to sue for an injury, it's got to be a permanent injury.
Okay. My friend's a barber. Let's think about this. Can you sue for a bad haircut? Or a beauty treatment gone wrong?
Again, like the coffee.
Okay.
Technically you could. You'd have, under the consumer law, you'd probably have a right to recourse, but it's a waste of time.
All right. Can you sue for spoiling parts of your favorite show? You see someone for spoiling parts of your favorite show?
No.
So it's just not in the limits?
No.
Okay. A sunburn because weather app predicted cloudy all day.
Look, I would love to say yes. No.
What?
I would love for that to be yes, because the weather app needs to be, like, they need to pull their shit together,
Okay.
So I would love to advocate for that. I'd take that on.
Okay.
Pro bono, but I don't think it has any legs.
I thought you've been through it though. That's why you said.
No, I
just
wish.
one.
That would be good. That would be nice if we knew. Like right now, how long we've been in here for a couple of hours?
No, not a couple, just one.
came in. Oh, we haven't been a couple of hours. But since I saw you,
Yes.
Gahwa,
Yeah, true.
And it was sunny, bright sunny day. I
Mm.
want to check if it's raining now. I
You think
swear
so?
it's raining.
We have a window.
You have a window?
Yeah, right here.
Can we suss?
Yeah.
You reckon it's raining?
No, I don't think so. Is it?
Nah, it's not raining.
Yeah.
Right, good.
It's all right weather. I
not
feel
raining, ladies
hot.
and
Do you feel
gents.
hot? The
It's
studio
nice.
is a bit
nice.
hot right now.
I like it. It's toasty.
It is toasty?
Toasty, yeah, it's good. It feels like summer.
don't
Finally,
mind it.
man. So glad.
You're a summer person.
Oh, I love the heat. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the winter. Get
Coats
through it.
and whatnot.
But the heat, it's like the blanket in the morning just comes off because you're already warm. You don't need to, in the morning when it's freezing, you're like, getting out of bed means that you have to be freezing.
Okay.
And that's a hard trade-off. Whereas in summer or when it's nice, getting out of bed doesn't mean that. You get out of bed, you still feel the same.
It's just whatever.
And just the sun, man. I think the sun is a powerful energizer.
Okay, but for some people, they have AC in their rooms.
They do.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
They're rather luxury. They stay under the AC. And so people can find a way to be lazy anyway.
I think it's never been easier to find a way to be lazy in our world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
100%.
never been easier. So
Especially right now.
if that's what you're looking for, you will definitely achieve it.
What do you think about lazy people?
What do I think about lazy people? Look, it's actually very difficult for me to, and I'm like fully healthy lazy people who are doing laziness out of complete ignorance or choice or just lack of passion. Like I understand people who are going through conditions different. It's a different set of, fact. But I struggle to resonate with lazy people. I'm such a, I always have more time in my day. I have so many things that I do, but I'll always find 30 minutes for something extra if it comes up, so I can't resonate with laziness. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You have, in this life, look at all of the meterage of wires you have here. There's like 10 meters. We probably have a centimeter of it, not even less compared to the world. And you have this many good years. What are you going to do? Sit there and play games? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Have you ever thought about when you're going to die?
Like what age? I haven't thought about that too hard, no.
Does it cross your mind?
It's actually interesting. I'm watching on Netflix. There's a TV, I think a documentary called Living to 100. Have you heard of it?
No.
This guy is going through like places which have longevity as like a very specific thing to them. So he went to a place in Japan and over 80% of people live over 100. Fucking insane.
Yeah.
And he's in a place, he was looking at the Adventist church.
Okay.
I don't know if you know much about the Adventists, but they're Christians. But the only difference is they believe their leader in like the 1700s or 1800s or 19th century. She had she spoke with God or whatever. And he said, you have to live a healthy lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. And they live 80% of them live over 100 as well. And they're in America. So I don't know, I think when your time comes, your time comes. I have a quote there, let go, let God.
Okay.
So I think in life, what you can control, fucking control it as much as you can. What you can't, release. Just let go. There's nothing you can do.
But it's really hard for some people to just let go of control of their lives sometimes.
Well, don't let go of control of your life. That's
in certain situations.
Things you can't control.
Yeah.
Things you can't control. The pain of trying to control those uncontrollables is worse than letting go. It's like short-term versus long-term. If short-term, trying to control them might make you feel better. You feel more secure about yourself. You feel, whatever it is, fulfilled or, safe. But once you learn to appreciate or acknowledge that uncontrollability of it, I think that's the source of true happiness or satisfaction or fulfillment or whatever it is. Appreciating that you can't control over it.
What is one time in your life where you had to let go?
There was like a time I let go in terms of what I couldn't control. There was like when I finished high school, I could control my ATAR to some extent. You know how like our ATAR system depends on your colleagues and all that bullshit? Yeah, like where you're ranked in your school and shit. And like I got in legal studies, I got A+. In the exam, I got A+. So I should have got like 47, 46, something like that. I got 38 because the person who was ranked 1 got a C in his exam because he got a 15 marker completely wrong. So, and I got, I think 86 on my ATAR, 85. So I didn't get into law. I needed like 93 and that would have been the difference because of the massive difference. And man, when I saw that, I remember that morning, for like 3 days, I was, you couldn't talk to me. Could not talk to me. Because what happened after that was I had to do commerce alone just to get into law. So I knew that I had I added 9 months to my study pretty much, or 6 months. And I was I worked my ass off. But eventually, I learned to let go.
It wasn't even your fault.
It wasn't even something I could control. And that haunted me for a little while, maybe 5 days, 7 days. But I was pretty mentally strong at that point because I was kind of I was pretty kickback type of kid at that point anyway. I was pretty happy, generally. Was pretty happy-go-lucky, but yeah, it could have been something that I hung on to, and maybe rightfully, I might have been entitled to hanging on to it, but I don't think it would have had any utility in me holding on to that thought of negativity for more time. It just festers. It's like mold. Get rid of it, for sure.
Would you ever swap law for anything? Any different career would you go for?
One thing that I'm really interested in, and I think it kind of speaks to law still, is like mentorship, like public speaking, leadership type roles. I think that's something that I'd really like to look into in the future. So I think it kind of complements that I've done law to go there. Even psychology, I've always been really interested in. But I think law, to be honest, for me, law is like a gateway right now. I'm working in it and I enjoy it, but I don't see my long-term future being in law. I want to probably do a PhD in human rights and start looking at like philosophy and like changing laws to suit human rights and like being an advocate for those things. So that's probably where I'd rather go. Maybe lecture at university as well.
So you wouldn't open your own law firm?
I have my own law firm. What do you mean?
Is PRD yours?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
PRD is yours?
I'm one of the partners there. Yeah. It's just me and my business partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you open it or did you co-open it?
He had it for 8 years before I jumped on.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so what I mean, would you open your own separate branch?
No, I don't have a need to. I have a good business partner. I think maybe another thing that speaks to life generally, doing things in pairs. I find strength in numbers. I'm that type of person. I'm a team player kind of guy.
Okay.
So I wouldn't do it on my own now. I like the support of, having someone there. Bounce ideas, trust, rely on, friendship, all the rest of it,
What's your philosophy on life?
My philosophy on life?
What's the meaning?
I'll read it to you. Funnily enough, I won an award on Friday from my high school.
Congratulations, man.
Did you see what I said?
No, I didn't see. There was a video, yeah?
It was a video, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'll read you this. So in year 12, in my IRE class, there was this poem, it's a prayer, and I'll show it. I've got a photo of it with me.
Okay.
And I liked it so much that the teacher just let me take it. She said, just take it. So I hung it on my locker, and then I hung it at home. I still have it at home now. And I'll read it. This is my
can you airdrop it to me?
Can I airdrop it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so I can put it on for the people to see it.
No, I can't find you. You're not around.
Oh.
It's any airdrop on, brother. Do you want me to airdrop it after?
We can do it now.
Okay.
Just because
so this, you said, philosophy on life.
Yes.
And this speaks to kind of my probably professional career and my choices that way, like what I want to spend my day-to-day time doing. It's different to my personal philosophy on love. And I think there's specific things you could ask about, but philosophy on how I lead my life in what I do for work, this probably is a good way to define it.
Okay.
Nope. Oh, I think my Bluetooth was off. That's why.
Do you need Bluetooth for airdrop?
Yeah, of course you do.
This is getting so complicated.
All right, we'll send it after.
Okay, we'll send it.
No stress. All right. So it goes like this.
Yes.
It's called the Prayer for Peace. And it goes, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine master, grant that I may seek not so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born into eternal life. Amen.
That's pretty solid.
Powerful stuff, man.
That's pretty solid.
If you really, if you smoke enough weed and read that enough, become really profound, you know.
Could change some perspectives.
Yeah, the more I've read that, the more my philosophy around that has developed. You can expand each sentence there. You can expand on, and that will. I could spend hours talking about my philosophy based on that, but it summarizes it in 50 words or something.
Do they know who wrote it?
No, it's. I think it's prayer by Saint Francis. Yeah. Yeah, prayer of Saint Francis. But I don't know if it's a prayer made in memory of Saint Francis or he wrote it. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, who knows who wrote what?
Well, the message is good. That's what matters.
It's powerful. It's really powerful. If you break that down, you could spend a whole semester breaking down just that prayer. You know, not pardoning. When you pardon people, you're pardoned. When you love, you're loved. When you understand, you're understood. These concepts, it puts a lot of power in how you do things in the world, not how others do things to you. I think that's very powerful. That message, you know.
Well, it's also very good to let yourself not be top priority all the time, because I think for most people, and rightfully so, their number one priority in their lives, but if they want to admit it or not, everyone thinks about themselves number one, consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. You fuel your own desires, and so willingly not doing that is a harder challenge than to cater for your own desires. And so if you willingly allow people to just, I wouldn't say use is a wrong word, but it's also kind of using. If you willingly allow people to use you with love, it allows you to become a better person and for them to reach a place where they could have never reached if you didn't humble yourself for that to happen.
Yeah, I think that in turn makes you're actually doing something when you're doing that.
100%.
Yeah. I think it's a very powerful and fulfilling thing to do, is looking down on others to help them up, or moving out of the way to help people up, or not putting yourself in their position yet. I think it's becoming more and more rare, unfortunately, for people to have that selflessness that was there maybe time ago, or maybe that's just how we're being programmed or developing as humans. Who knows? And I think there's nothing wrong with being selfish as long as it's not at the cost of others. That's the way that's capitalism in a way. Capitalism does come at the cost of others because people go down as you go up. But selfishness is fine as long as you're not putting that in front of other people's respect or level.
What do you think? We're in a time where we're primed to think about ourselves most of the time, in a time where it exaggerates money, status, fame, self-absorption. Are we living in a time where it just gratifies these things? It makes it,
instant gratification.
Yeah. It glorifies it as well.
Yeah, of course. Like now you might have the source of power to the world just in your phone. Because if you become famous enough on TikTok, then you've got all this power and control and money and celebrities and status and all that kind of stuff. And people do chase instant gratification. And also everyone has a platform. Everyone has an opinion. Yeah, guess what? We all have arseholes too. It's, but that's now, celebrities, the source of information, or like at university, one of the subjects I studied was like reliability of information. And now the reliability of information that people are using to make decisions it's spiraling into this self-fulfilling, self-serving status where everyone is just looking out for themselves, for sure, and trying to propel that. And it's so negative. It's so... Wow, what's the best word to describe it?
Anti-human?
Polarizing in a way. Yeah, anti-human. We're becoming robotic. That's probably a good way of putting it. Yeah. With all this AI and everything, and just everyone's stuck to their phone. You're glued,
Do you think AI will take over law as well?
To a great extent, yes, but not not in my area of law, at least in some areas, but law relies on statutory interpretation.
Okay.
So, and a robot can't really do that. You could give a robot, the whole legislation, the whole law, one area of law, and then give them all the cases and say, based on this law, based on these cases, based on these propositions and these submissions by the barristers or lawyers, what's your decision? It's still going to give you a decision as good as, or maybe worse off than what a judge would. So I don't think it'll take over law. I think law is pretty recession-proof.
Can you tell people, listen real quick, what's your area of law?
Yeah. So I work in personal injury.
Okay.
So work cover, TAC, public liability, wills and estates, employment law.
Why would AI not take over that? How can they not?
So, look, it's very complex. The area of law I work in, it's not easy to kind of define why not, but essentially we deal with humans who have been hurt, and your entitlement to compensation depends on many variables. And a judge would be tasked with deciding whether you meet that certain level of variables or threshold to be able to sue or earn compensation. Yeah. So if that's the case, how would a robot be able to apply your facts and circumstances to a set of existing precedents in the law that speak? It's just too complex. It's too complex. There might be, let's say, 30 variables, and those 30 variables all interchange within one another so that any set of those variables can indicate a certain pathway. So you actually have like over 1,000 different potential paths. A robot can't do that. A judge who has the experience of cases and similar can. It's complex in that sense. I don't think a robot could do it. It's not simple arithmetic. We're not dealing with numbers. We're dealing with humans and life and emotion and pain, injury.
Is that because they can't comprehend emotion yet?
In a way. Some of what we do is based on pure science, and even that I don't think they could do. But yeah, I don't know if they can they correspond with emotion, but I'm sure we could program in emotion. I'm sure we could program in, like, for example, I could type to GPT, my client is somber and upset because he feels pain and can't sleep and XYZ, and he feels XYZ. Please code this into your decision making. We could tell it how our client feels. And the other side could say, we don't think his client is being honest. Yeah. We think he's a liar. And, ChatGPT would have to decipher this stuff. Yeah. It's not, law is too complex based on factual circumstances. I don't think it's feasible.
No, I think it's kind of scary that AI is kind of coding itself right now.
That's the danger, is that it's, yeah, I've heard those sorts of scenarios where you say to the robot, to the AI, build this thing, but you don't tell it not to kill the human to build that thing. So when it runs out of the resource to build that thing, it'll start killing the humans to use them to build those things. So whatever it has to do in pursuit of its coded desire or outcome or output,
it will do.
It will do. I see that we've all watched our robot. It's, we'll be dead by then. Don't worry.
Do you think so?
I hope so. Fucking hell.
How far away
I don't want to be around from that.
How far away from now?
Be dead?
Yeah.
Well, how far away do you think that will be a reality?
Not that far. I was having a chat with my friend the other day. He thinks that singularity point is not that far off now.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Singularity point. Does that mean they think like in a certain way or something?
Yes. 1 second. Why am I getting a phone call?
I actually need to go to the toilet.
Go ahead.
All right, we're back?
Yes.
We're back on.
No, you're right there. I'm right there.
I know. That's what I'm doing. It's yours.
Yeah, we're back. We were talking about singularity points.
Yeah.
So the reason why they call it, the reason why they call it, reason why they call it the singularity point, I didn't know that either until Umar explained it to me the other day.
Okay.
You know how the black hole, the photo of the black hole when it came out, it has that round golden circle around it. So they know what's inside. So they know what's on the outside of the black hole, but they don't know what's on the inside. And so that little horizon is the singularity point. And beyond that,
yeah, I've heard that.
They don't know what's beyond it. That's why when it comes to AI, we have our own AI singularity point because they don't know what's...
Why don't we send them out to the black hole? Singularity point meets singularity point. See what happens.
I don't know, man. Why would we? There's a whole movie on why we shouldn't.
Send them out to the...
Yeah.
Why not, man?
Blade Runner.
Look. I don't know, man.
Blade Runner is just a bunch of escapees. They escaped from Mars, they came to Earth, and they tried to kill Harrison Ford.
Yeah, who knows, man?
Harrison
Who
Ford
knows?
is too precious, man. Let's protect
Who
this
knows
guy.
what's really out there?
I mean, look, if it's as they predict that it's 5 years from now, we're in deep shit.
Is that what they say?
Yeah. Singularity warrant is 5 years, and
So we've got 5 good years.
it's flexible. Like it could be less
Could be
because
less.
it was 10 years until AI started coding itself, and now it's 5 years. And so now you don't need to feed information to AI; it feeds itself.
Yeah, so pretty much like everything I hear, because I listen to a lot of news, like SBS, 774, ABC, news radio, like, but trying to use normal information.
Okay.
And it sounds like the possibilities of AI becoming discretionary is just it's too easy.
Yeah.
Like it's too simple for companies to just make a robot that will just think for itself and learn as it goes.
It's the conversation that everyone should be having.
It's actually fucked up. Yeah. And I think, well, I from my position, I have to let God, because I have no influence on it.
Do you think they could play God one day?
I think they're playing God right now.
The robots, not people. Because what happens when they start coding themselves with religious ideas and with political movements?
I don't know. I guess we're in the territory of the unknown at that point.
5 years from now?
It's like, it's Discovery Land at that point.
It is Discovery Land.
It's just a new era.
It's a different dystopia.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? It's a conversation that's hard to. We're just stargazing, really.
I know.
It's just hypotheses, and for you and I, based on who knows what.
It really is. Who knows?
Some people know what's going on. Some people, at least, they have more information than us.
They do. I don't think I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any of that information. I don't know.
Yeah, but like think about all the things that we know, and we know a lot as like just your average Joes, me and you, right? We know a lot, but now think about what we don't know that the other people know.
It's a lot more.
A lot more. It's a whole lot more. It's more scary. If we're scared listening to the limited information that we have, imagine how much they are shitting themselves, hearing and learning what they are learning right now. All the shit happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, it's like Oppenheimer. Like, you've seen the movie Oppenheimer, yeah?
Not yet.
Yeah, you haven't?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, because like IMAX didn't give me a seat until
fuck, man. So you haven't seen it, so I can't talk about it. Far out, man.
I could sue.
Hey,
Can I sue?
I'm sorry, this guy, yeah?
Can I sue?
You could sue me, yeah, if I
yeah?
tell you about it.
Okay.
Come on, man. Your listeners need to know this. This is a great parable. It's a story for life.
All right, just talk about it, but don't spoil it, because
But you know the storyline, the gist, yeah?
yeah, the guy created a bomb that's
Good.
meant
You
to
know
like
that enough.
bomb people.
So at some point, yeah,
And he
the
was
scientists who are working with him, well, they all realize this is not good,
Yeah.
building a fucking nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
And they all realize like, this is pretty fucked, because once they finished it, goes off to the government in one of these nice little suitcases, and khalas, they're done. They don't know anything else of what happens with that bomb. It's like AI. Like there's scientists who are just genuinely interested in what they're doing. They're geniuses, really. They're they're just so smart that we can't even fathom how smart they are coding these things, but they're creating the devil of the world, and they have no control over it because they're being commissioned to do it. So it's being controlled by someone. But I'm sure there's scientists who are creating this shit right now who are deep in it, like who are lead engineers or whatever, the coders or whoever it is, I think mechatronics or whatever the topic is, they'd be realizing we're fucked.
Yes.
And I think some of them have come out and said that.
Yes.
But what can we do?
Do you think like history is gonna repeat itself? Because it does.
I think it does. Yeah, I don't know what's in store. It's not something, history is not a good reliable source of what's going to happen in the future.
But we need to learn from it. Like if we fucked up that bad with nuclear bombs, this is on the same level.
There's too much money circulating in the economy for things not to go wrong right now. Since COVID, I think the US printed like a third of their total capital. They increased their total reserve that they print money, like they owe to themselves. They owe to their own bank. It's fucking retarded. It's like $37 trillion.
America owes itself.
Yeah, they owe the bank.
Okay.
The RBA, they owe their reserve bank $37 trillion. That's how, and they pushed like 17 trillion of that during COVID. That's why this whole hyperinflation has happened. There's just too much money circulating. There's too much money to control the world now. Everyone has a robot in their pocket. We're all cyborgs. We all wake up and sleep with our phones. You can't go to the toilet without sitting on your phone. Can't do anything without going on your phone. You can't drive without going on your phone. It's ingrained in our systems. It's not going away.
That's kind of why I reject using a smartwatch.
Good. But ultimately at that point, it's like veganism. Yeah. Do it for yourself, not for a greater good, because it's not going to work.
No, for me, it's more like I hate getting notifications more than anything else.
Okay.
I hate it. My phone is like always on mute. My social media is always on mute. And it's kind of challenging because like I manage all my social media myself. So I like have to monitor as well. But everything is on mute. And so if I wear a watch that does the exact thing that I don't want in my life, at that point, I'm just, I walk in cyborg basically.
Yeah, I would hate that. Yeah.
I was thinking about that just before you came when I was setting things up because I kept like getting pop on my phone. And then I put it on D&D and I was like, all right, fine, now we're good. Then I remembered a friend that he's got this habit on whenever he gets a message on his smartwatch, he always like looks up. And it's now like kind of a dog whistle. And so whenever it pops, he just checks it straight away.
Why wouldn't you? It's right there.
Instant, easy,
yeah, that's
nice.
The unconscious moving to conscious. It's something that you want to do.
Yeah.
But after a couple of years of doing something, it's a habit that's just ingrained in who you are. That's where we're up to now. Like you can get your toaster to turn on at a certain time. You can get your fridge to change temperatures at certain times. You can get your car to start heating at a certain time. If you have the money to do these things, you can get your garage to open when your car comes 50 meters from the house. You can use robotics right now where your house is pretty much automated.
Yeah,
you can do that.
To be fair, it's not all so bad. Some of these things are really helpful.
Those are all good. Yeah,
those are all helpful. They're all good. Like especially with like, what do they call it? Synthetics, like implants and whatnot. Like just the other day, I saw an AI synthetic spine. Guy was immobilized. He can't move. He's in a wheelchair. They implemented a fully robotic AI powered spine into his back, and now he can walk.
Yeah.
It's life changing.
There's also spinal cord stimulators as well, and all those sorts of things. Look, it's one of those things. It's as I said before, the pendulum of life. Everything good has something bad. Everything bad has something good. I don't know much about physics, but what was his name? One of his 3 rules of physics or something. What was his name again? Newton. Yeah, laws of physics. Everything has an equal or greater reaction or something.
Each action has an equal reaction, equal in speed and direction.
There you go. Something like that. Yeah. For the, we're the linguists. We're not.
Okay. Yeah, I know it in Arabic. I don't know it.
قولها يلا.
كل action. What is action in Arabic? I know it in Arabic.
He doesn't know it in Arabic. Okay, no. Correction.
كل فعل إلى رد فعل مساوي بالمقدار ومعاكس بالجهة. Okay, so each action has a reaction that is equal in power and opposite in direction.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yes, you heard it.
Just in case.
Not Newton, just here on Sordif right here. I've got my pen and paper on me. The other two, I don't know. He was just talking shit.
Now, what's the other one? Gravity. Isn't it gravity? When you roll something, it would stop but for gravity.
Actually, let's search it up. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks about it. What are
Newton's 3 laws? You can ask ChatGPT.
Yes. Let's see what he thinks.
He knows them. How would it not know them?
Yeah, but it's also like his opinion too. He puts his own opinion sometimes. He's a little rascal.
Oh, let me ask you a question while you look at that, yeah? Mm-hmm. So, it's law meets technology, yeah? And there's like an oxymoron of a thought or, for example, let's say you have a primary school and let's say it's in Dandenong or in an area here that's not a great area. You could, by way of technology, assess whether there's anyone who's a high-risk child abuser in whatever radius you want. So for the greater good of those kids, you could do that. But you're breaching those people's privacy because the government knows everything about who owns the house or who's renting the house, their bank, their history, their cars, their hobbies. The algorithm could catch everything they're doing 24/7. Yeah. And it could use that to spit out an indicator of whether these people are high-risk child offenders, so we fucking watch them. What do you do? Do you breach their privacy in order to protect the civilian, or do you respect their privacy to the detriment or at the risk of
I think
civilian.
It's more about the government's name at that point rather than.
Well, which one would you do?
I don't think they would risk their public name at least, because we know everyone knows that the government is watching all the time, right? Everyone agrees on that. No one with their right minds can go, oh no, the government is not watching me. They're not got my microphone on all the time. I don't see the little thing that pops up when I log out of Instagram. It just glitches sometimes. The little mic icon. You don't. You see it, yeah. Sometimes I just log out of Instagram and the mic thing just pops up. It's like, all right, I know you're listening. You don't have to be so obvious about it, right? Like no one does that. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
But for them, it's more like for them. Will they go out and I'd say risk the people's willful blindness?
No, you're right. They wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
I don't think so. Although I haven't done it as well. But you're right. That's a good way of assessing it because, they've got the sheep in the, whatever they call it, the pen, whatever it is. Why would they let them, cause a bit of a ruckus in there? They wouldn't.
Willful blindness is very strong for them. They need it. They need people to think that they have security but not control. Like you're secure. We know we control you, but you also think that you're secure to the extent.
And you're free.
And you're free.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna let you think that you're secure, and then your security is gonna make you think that you're free, but you also know at the back of your head that you're controlled.
Technically, under the Constitution, the government could actually take you home anytime. They have to pay you a certain amount if they do need to, but they can come in and take over if we're out at war, which is never going to happen in Australia. But they could, even for COVID reasons. Like let's say they wanted to clear a street and it was just a hassle of a street, they could come and use the houses. So fuck off. These are our houses now.
Well, what about that guy in New South Wales that refused to sell the land?
What, the castle?
Yeah.
I think that was in Bonnie Doon, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know.
It was in Bonnie Doon. Okay. I think it was in Victoria.
Okay.
I went to the High Court.
Yeah.
That's Section 51 of the Constitution, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him he's dreaming. Come on, mate. Yeah, watch The Castle. Watch The Castle.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Is it?
It's a great movie, yeah.
All right, I'll give it a watch.
Speaks to the vibe of Australia.
Is it Australian produced?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Must have been. Must have been. Yeah.
Because I think I've seen the title because I was at a movie gallery at ACMI the other day with my friend, and I think I've read something about The Castle because it's got a whole section for Australian produced movies.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, well, that speaks to the idea that the government can't take your property without just compensation, which is similar to what I'm saying there as well. Yeah.
But how much of a compensation are we talking? Like, is it enough to like?
Well, and that's in the movie. That's what they accentuate in the movie. How can you put a price tag on memories, mate? It's not just a house. It's a home.
Yeah.
You watch the movie. That's a direct quote out of the movie. And it's true, but it's a concept.
Have you ever used a movie quote with a client?
Not consciously. No, I'm not a big movie guy. Actually,
no, really?
Nah.
So never seen that Al Pacino lawyer movie?
No, I've seen them, but I'm not a big movie guy.
Okay.
So like remembering, like if you asked me to name 10 movie stars, whatever you call them, I'd probably struggle to
like
get
actors.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not big.
No,
Jackie Chan,
Jackie Chan. Oh.
Jackie Chan.
Oh, so it's still like in the.
Still in the 90s, man. I never got out.
Okay, fair enough.
Never got out.
I mean, movies are nice. I can't live without
movies. Are nice. No, I'm an active goer.
Okay.
I'm always out.
Like always out all the time. But you can also like enjoy movies while being an outgoer.
Yeah, well, look, it's just not. I have. It's like I have worms or something. I'm always on the go.
Okay, so you can't like just sit yourself down for.
I can, but
you'd have to
put like, that time there. Like spontaneously watching a movie, it's something I'm working on. I want to become more spontaneous, but it's just not part of my makeup yet.
Okay.
Like it's something I still have this kind of like productive. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's something that I'll learn in 10 years to not like about myself. But I'm trying to get that spontaneity. Is that the word?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fact check. I'm trying to. I think that's an important part of being a happy person as well.
Spontaneity.
Yeah, and being okay to drift. Like I'm very driven, and sometimes that comes at the cost of this high pressure kind of attitude. But I think it's okay to be nice to yourself.
Yeah,
love yourself, all that kind of gooey stuff.
Yeah, not every day is hustle bustle Monday. Although
For me, every day is an opportunity to have a hustle bustle Monday, but it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to be.
The thing is, I think we're similar on that because like the days that I want to like do something nice for myself, I feel guilty about it. I'm like, no, I should be doing work instead. Got something more important.
But that's not good. When you're doing something, you should do that thing. When you're doing another thing, do that thing. You know, don't have your mind on one thing when you're doing another thing, because then you're doing neither thing.
Yes.
I'm trying to learn that.
It drives you into like really sad places because like
that's bad. Yeah.
It takes you out of the moment, and I've been like really, I wouldn't say sad, but I've been like really unhappy for the past 3, 4, 5 months with everything that I've managed to do, and it doesn't make sense because like I'm doing what I like, I'm chasing my dreams, I'm stable in each and every single part of my life that I want to be stable at. Things that I can't, I'm not. Like, you know, sometimes you just get those days and you're like, okay, I know I'm missing this part, but that's not why I'm not happy. And I talked to my mom about it, and she made something that's very interesting. She made a point to me where she told me that I'm not present in the moment. Because when I broke down everything to her and how I've got my plans and why I'm stressing about this and I'm stressing about that, and I really feel like shit even though I'm doing it. Because she told me, she's like, you're doing everything you want to do. Why are you not happy? And I told her about what's going on in my life. She said that you're not here today. You're sitting with me, but your mind is like a week ahead. Your mind is like 2 weeks ahead, and that's not good. You need to be present in the moment.
That's a powerful message.
Right?
Yeah, if you're living in the future, then the present is the past. So you're never in the moment. I completely agree with her.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get caught in that. I think a very useful thing there is actually reflecting.
Yeah.
Spend some time looking backwards and see how much you've done in that time. And make notes. If there's parts that you could have done better, I'm a huge advocate. Like if you're going to be highly productive, write shit down. You got to write shit down. You got to get it off your mind. At some point, you have to free up your mind, or else you just can't fit it all in. You have all this that you want to do. You have all these expectations. You did this as well as you thought. You did that not as well as you thought. You did this better than you thought. Well, write it down. Finish it off. Khalas. Forget about it. Move on to the next. You know, either one is getting better, one is getting worse. That's my style. Write it down. Write down what you did well, what you did bad, what you want to do. Like, you know, it's called a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You can do it about everything.
Yeah, I saw that. But you can also speak it.
You can speak. You can verbalize it, yeah. But sometimes when you verbalize it, you forget you verbalized it, you want to verbalize it again. You continue to verbalize it. You start screaming wolf, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, writing it down works really well. And being present is kind of like, I don't know. It's not like, I think the physiological things should be enough for you to be happy today. You wake up with a smile, wake up healthy, wake up happy with your family, loved ones, food, shelter. That's enough.
Well, we get
Be happy
caught up
based on that.
sometimes. We forget all these things.
You want more. You want the next.
Yes.
You want the next. But remember that's you already. If you have those physiological needs met, you're already in the top billion people in the world.
Yeah.
You're better than 5/6 of the rest of the world just because you have your physiological needs met. That for me is a great place to start.
But also, life is short, and sometimes we forget that.
And we waste it, and we get caught up in the anxiety of, have I done enough? Haven't I done enough? Well, you're actually doing nothing when you're thinking about those things. To do, that's what your mum's saying. Be present. Go for it.
I think it's a bit grim, but I always look at my life in a way where I could die within the next 2 years. And I fully believe that. Like, I used to live, when I was in my 18, 19, I think, I don't see myself living past 26. I don't know why, but it's something that
weird.
I don't know. It's something that I can, every time I try to imagine myself as old and happy with a family, it doesn't work.
Grim, as you said.
It is grim. Okay. But now I've learned how to use that differently. So instead of dwelling on it, I know that it could be like just bullshit. Like, I might not die at 26. Who knows? Literally. So I don't dwell on it like, oh, I'm dying at 26. No, it's different. Anything could happen any second. And so if I die next year, have I done enough to die happily or at least satisfied?
Have you?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
You're trying.
I'm
so
trying.
You're not there yet.
No.
You still feel like you have a few more things to do before you.
I always will feel like that, Milad. I always will feel like that.
You'll always feel like that.
I always feel like that.
So are you satisfied in that thought alone that you'll always never feel satisfied?
Yes. I'm satisfied knowing that I'm actively doing something. That's the difference. Because if I put myself in a situation where I'm never satisfied, I'm just gonna be miserable my whole fucking life.
Have you heard the Matthew McConaughey speech when he wins like one of those Emmys, one of those awards, whatever they call those awards?
Might have.
Where he talks about his hero.
I might have.
Yeah, and he says his hero is him, but 10 years away. Yeah. And so he'll never achieve that hero because every day, every week, and every month, his hero is always 10 years away. But that keeps him with something to chase.
Yes.
Profound. There's 3 parts of that speech. Let's take it back a sec. That speech, you've heard it in full?
Yeah.
I fucking love that speech. He says there's 3 things he needs every day. Something to thank, someone to thank, someone to look up to, or I'm getting it wrong. You have to correct me. Fuck.
I'll not be the best person. I have very shallow memory.
That's right. The most important thing is what he says about... You don't want to listen to it. It's long.
No,
like
I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
What does he say? But he talks about his hero in a way where he's always going to be satisfied but never fully fulfilled. And it's a bit eerie because it's a fine balance. What is it?
You're referring to the Matthew McConaughey Oscar speech. 1, something to look up to, something to look forward to, and someone to chase.
Someone to look up to, which is God.
Yeah, he thanked God.
Someone to look forward to, which is his family.
He mentioned his family.
And someone to chase, which is him in 10 years away. His hero. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. And like I even said it stupidly. I just said Matthew McConaughey's speech, 3 things to what? And then he
gave it up perfect, huh?
Gave it up perfect.
It's too good, man. It's too good.
It's too smart.
Yeah.
And they even giving like summaries. In his speech, McConaughey also emphasized gratitude and humility, and ending by saying his signature line, all right.
And I say, all right. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I think it's one of those things as like I referred back to the pendulum. Life sometimes it's okay not to be okay. It's good to be happy. There's times where you're excited, sad, upset, all the rest of it. That's just the grind. It's just how it is. I don't think you should. If life was always good, how would you know what good is? Isn't everything relative to something else? Like when you're happy, isn't that relative when you haven't been happy? You know what I mean? Like the concepts we hold in our mind of excitement, happiness, funny, all those things, they're relative to the opposite. If the opposite doesn't exist, then that thing doesn't exist because it's just the status quo. You know what I mean?
Kind of gives it meaning as well.
Yeah.
Gives it flavor. Makes you appreciate it.
What else have you got down there? I haven't got much time. What's the time?
All right. Time is 2:30.
Yeah, I got to bounce soon, man. I got to beat that freeway all the way. Let me check the traffic from this side.
It's pretty bad.
It's horrible. Going home from here.
I would advise you leaving within
20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. Because from here, once it hits over 3, khalas, man.
Oh yeah.
Finished.
All right. Do you want to do what? Never have I ever?
Please.
Okay, cool. Never have I ever are really short. It's the can I sue for the ones that are really
expensive. Yeah, go.
Okay. Never have I ever had to look up a word a client used because I didn't know what it meant.
Never. A barrister I have had to look up.
A what?
About like we have barristers that we use.
Oh yeah.
I've had to look up a couple of words they've used before, but not a client, no.
Okay. Never have I ever wished I had chosen a different career path.
Oh, I think I've wished that before, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of those days.
I would have liked to play football, like every Arab boy.
Oh yeah.
Would have loved to be a fucking soccer player. Would have been good.
Yeah, you can still go for it. Project Mbappe, never too late.
Nah.
I think I already asked this one. Use the TV show moment in real life.
No.
No Al Pacino.
No Al Pacino, no.
Okay. Fantasized a dramatic closing statement like in the movies.
No, I haven't. I'm pretty boring, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty vanilla, you're going to come to find.
No, all right. But if I was you, I'll probably
What is it? Whitewashed?
Whitewashed?
I'm pretty whitewashed. That's
all my white listeners are going to be really upset about this. To be fair, they get so much unnecessary hate by like the media.
It's a bad time to be a white male.
It is. You can't say shit.
And you're paying for what your boomers benefited from.
But that's just not how it should be.
Unfortunately, it's the ebbs and flows of our society.
You're more than your history, where you come from. There's more to you. But let's so. Can you sue? I'm gonna skip the ones that I already asked.
Please.
But I've got a few more. You know?
Good. Please.
Mental trauma when you're out in the shops and broad windows and someone says, "Shoo, cuz."
You should be able to sue. You should, but you can't. But you should. You should. Maybe you'll have to fuck it up. Oh, it's so bad. Shoo, cuz.
Shoo, cuz.
What's good, bro?
Shoo, cuz.
Fuck, cuz, what's good, man?
Okay, I got a better one.
That's bad.
Being traumatized by a sock disappearing in the laundry, leading you to believe your washing machine has a sock-eating monster.
No.
Okay.
Come on, Fidel.
I'm just putting it out there, man.
Did these really come to your mind? Genuinely, these came to your mind as thoughts.
I had a lot more. I was in my office, right? And
This is your best. This is your best.
This is like purified. This is the top one. These are really
Synthesized thoughts.
interesting ones.
Wow, that's worrying.
Okay, I got two more. I already asked you this one, but you said no. Emotional distress and ego bruising after declaring an item lost in the fridge and your mom finds it in milliseconds.
No.
Okay. No suing mothers?
No.
All right. Okay. What is this? Oh, I like this one because this is really offensive to me, right? And I was writing it with like real emotion attached to it because it happens to me every fucking time. And I wish that there's a solution to it. And so if you can find one, I'll probably, promote this episode for like 10 years on from now. The sheer disrespect of automatic public soap dispenser bathroom, not sensing your hand, making you question your own existence.
All right. If I ever go into politics, just can you rip that one up and give it to me? I'll put it in my pocket. I'll keep it with me.
Dude, what's like deal with the soap dispensers?
Honestly, I don't know. You need to get some sort of
Have you been through it?
mechanical. Yeah, of course. It's retarded. You put your hand there waiting for it to spray. Like, at least get something in there.
Dude,
Yeah,
I feel so fucking
agree.
disrespected, man.
I agree.
And like even when it comes out, it pushes out just a little bit, like, bzzz. And so like I have to like put both hands at like two different ones.
No, I agree. I do agree.
I
with
feel
you.
like a fucking beggar, man. Give me my fucking soap. I've been in the toilet, like. All right, I'm done with my questions. I've got like a few more, like, but I've already used them, so there's no point.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna make waves soon, bro.
Yeah, I get you.
Get onto this freeway. Do you have like a formal sign off?
A formal sign off?
Yeah.
Do you all want?
You didn't even do a formal start. You just 40 minutes in, you asked me to say hi in 9 seconds. What do you expect? Hi everyone, my name is Milad. So glad to be here with Soileth Podcast. See?
Okay.
Not under time pressure.
So your outro is gonna be your intro now, or we can make it both. Your intro is
You
your
have
outro.
3 now.
Oh yeah, but now your intro is your outro, and your outro is your intro, because they're the same thing. So that's respect.
Is that the singular point that we just achieved?
I
singular
think,
point?
yeah. I think now we're beyond singularity
tripping.
points.
It's tripping.
I think singularity point is when I hit the record button.
True, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. If you were to use it.
Yeah, because no one knows, because we don't have a script.
All right, any shout outs you have to make?
Yeah. So my first shout out is for Aksan.
Exxon.
Everyone loves Aksan. And my second shout out is for Spectrum, because we're using this space. And without Spectrum, I wouldn't be able to record in this place. I would be recording on the street or something like that.
Street.
On the street.
Not for long.
Not for long.
Not in
yes.
these areas.
Not in these areas.
But guys, are you famous, bro? Hey, but guys, what are you recording yet?
Yeah, pull us on Instagram, bro. Pull us on Instagram.
Hey, guys, fuck off. Yeah, it's my area.
Alright. Now
Want the
that I know, thanks for that heads up. I'm probably not gonna record on the street. But that's a really good insight.
Not in
You
these
know,
areas,
I
LA.
love someone that lives in the south. Okay, but yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Mila. Where can we find you?
Where can you find me?
Where can we find you?
You can find me at my home most of the time.
I don't think you'd want
But
that.
I'd prefer not. No, I won't release my address. It's an odd question. Where can people find me?
Where can
Depends.
people find Milad Juma?
You know how on Facebook or LinkedIn if you want to find
how
me.
tempted I was to do this episode on a Friday?
Because it's Juma. You probably should have to.
I was,
but because of the
Because initially I think I booked you for a Friday, didn't I?
Maybe. Yeah. No, LinkedIn, Facebook, PRD Legal is the law firm. You can Google.
PRD.
Yeah.
Okay, because you said PID.
PRD, Papa Romeo Delta.
Okay.
PRD Legal.
Yes. Oh, you got the whole
Phonetics.
Yeah.
Have to, man.
Okay, because you're a lawyer.
No, because I'm a top G.
Okay. Dude, I like your tattoos.
Thank you.
They're really nice.
Thank you.
Did you get them all here?
Yeah, in Australia.
Rahma?
What's Rahma?
Oh, she's a tattoo artist.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, not Rahma.
Okay, not Rahma. Very nice. That's where most of our guys go to. I'll probably get my first tattoos. Oh, it's like a whole church.
Big man, yeah.
Nice. You got the cross over there. That's really nice. Do you touch them up?
No, not yet. I will probably go. It's been, I think, 3 years since it all finished.
Okay.
So I'll go soon. Maybe in 5. I think, I don't know how often you need it. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've probably done my eyebrow already. Anything you want to say? Any goodbye messages? Anything to your family? Anything to my listeners?
Hello, Shana.
Hello, Shana. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Milad, for coming, bro. I'll let you go. Take care, man. Thank you, guys.